Ever been on a run, got the earbuds in, completely in the zone, and suddenly, bam, someone appears out of nowhere because you
Yeah.
didn't hear him coming.
Oh, yeah, I've had that. It gives you quite a fright.
Like a reality check from the universe.
Right.
Well, how about enjoying your tunes but still having those ears peeled, in the real world?
The best of both worlds.
Exactly, and that's where these Bone-Conduction headphones come in. Seriously, there's something else.
They almost sound made up, don't they? Like straight out of Star Trek or something.
Right, but the tech behind it, it's actually pretty neat.
Oh, absolutely. Instead of sound waves through the air like your typical headphones, Bone-Conduction, it uses vibrations. Clever stuff.
Okay, so vibrations.
Hmm.
How do those actually become, well, the music we hear? Okay, picture this. You're listening to your favorite song, right? And you feel that bass, that thump, 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 right in your chest.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
That's your body feeling those vibrations. So Bone-Conduction headphones, what they do is send these tiny vibrations through your cheekbones.
So they bypass the whole eardrum thing completely?
They do. Go right to your inner ear, and that's where they turn into sound. Pretty wild, eh?
So, like, your cheekbones are at a concert and your brain's got the backstage pass. This Orbit audio review we found, it makes a really strong case for them, especially for safety. Big for anyone outdoorsy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's one of the biggest wins, right? Your ears are free and clear, hearing everything around you. Cars, bikes, those surprise counters we talked about.
Which is huge GE if you're out running or biking, right?
Absolutely. Traditional headphones, they just can't compete with that, those earbuds especially.
Speaking of, have you noticed how uncomfortable those earbuds get after a while?
Oh, tell me about it. I can't stand it.
But with Bone-Conduction, nothing's in or on your ears, so no more pressure, no more ear fatigue.
Genius, really.
And get this, the review mentions something really interesting. Benefits for folks with some types of hearing loss.
Right, because it bypasses the eardrum. It can be a game changer if the problem's with the outer or middle ear.
That's incredible, right? Like, we could be talking about a whole new world of sound for some people.
Definitely. And it shows how technology is moving towards being more inclusive, meeting all sorts of needs.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered the how it works and the why it's great. Now let's talk about the headphones themselves. What's out there? What are the top contenders?
Well, Orbit Audio, they really rate these 3 models from SHOKZ. The Open Run Pro, the Open Swim Pro, and then the Open Move.
Let's start with the Open Run Pro. What makes these the top dogs?
These are the top of the line, known for really impressive audio quality.
See, that's the thing I always wondered about Bone-Conduction. Would the sound be as good? Especially the bass?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's not going directly into your ear. It makes you wonder, right?
Exactly.
So what SHOKZ did is they've got this thing called Premium Pitch 2.0 technology designed for rich bass, even with the open ear design.
So you're saying they figured out how to deliver that thumping bass without actually, thumping on your eardrums.
But that's it. It's pretty impressive how far this tech has come.
Okay, color me impressed.
Yeah.
What about this Open Swim Pro then? For those who love to, make a splash.
You got it. These are made for swimming, fully waterproof. We're talking an IP68 rating, which is pretty serious.
IP what now? For those of us who don't speak tech.
Right, sorry. It means they can be underwater, like 1.5 meters deep for half an hour, no problem, no damage.
So no worries about them shorting out during a swim. What else makes these Open Swim Pros special?
They've got a built-in MP3 player.
No more messing about with Bluetooth in the pool. So smart.
Right, makes total sense. You're in the zone, swimming, no interruptions.
Okay, and last but not least, tell us about the Open Move.
These are definitely the most budget-friendly of the bunch.
Do you sacrifice a lot for the lower price tag?
Not really. They still pack a punch. Orbit Audio, they highlight the comfort and how secure they fit.
That's key, right? Especially if you're wearing them for hours.
Absolutely, and they come in different colors too.
Gotta have options. I like that they're making this whole technology more affordable, Not everyone's got a bottomless wallet.
Exactly, and it goes back to that idea we touched on, making tech accessible to everyone.
Totally. So, to recap, we've got the science, the why it's awesome, talked about hearing loss, even got into specific models, the works.
We have covered a lot.
It's a lot to process. For you, what's the most mind-blowing thing about Bone-Conduction?
Ooh, good question. I think it's how it changes our whole idea of headphones.
Right, we're so used to noise cancellation, blocking everything out.
Exactly, creating that little bubble. But Bone-Conduction, it's completely different.
It's like instead of shutting the world out, you're, almost opening up to it more.
That's a great way to put it.
We all do that thing, right? One
Yeah.
earbud in, one out, trying to hear the music and the conversation.
All the time. So awkward.
Bone conduction could change that whole dance.
Imagine walking through a museum, no more of those clunky audio guides. You just get the info straight through the headphones, but you can still hear everything around you.
Oh, I've even seen designs where they're adding augmented reality.
No way.
Yeah, like you get directions or info about where you are, all mixed in with the real world sounds.
That's straight out of the future, mind-blowing.
Right. And it all comes back to this idea of expanding how we experience sound, making it more immersive, more integrated with, well, everything.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder, how's this going to change how we think about sound altogether? If everyone's rockin' bone conduction, could it, reshape the soundscape of our world?
Now that's a thought, isn't it? What if instead of shutting everything out, we're more tuned in?
Yeah.
Like what if sound, instead of being a distraction, actually adds to our experiences?
Instead of that whole earbud shuffle, in and out, trying to hear two things at once.
Right, so clunky. Bone conduction could be the answer.
It's like integrating tech into our lives in a way that's, I don't know, smoother, more natural.
Totally. Think about it, walking down the street, maybe getting directions whispered through the headphones, but still hearing the city around you.
It's wild. This has been a real eye-opener, seriously. Never thought changing how we hear could open up so many possibilities. For someone who's totally new to this whole bone conduction thing, what's the one big takeaway? Why should they care?
I think it comes down to this. You can have your cake and eat it too. Enjoy your music, your podcast, whatever, but still be present in the world.
It's like unlocking a whole new sound dimension. For our listeners, we'll link to that Orbit audio review and the SHOKZ models in the show notes. Definitely keeping my ears on this tech, no pun intended.
Who knows, maybe someday we'll be having the same conversation through our bone conduction headphones, totally tuned into each other, A&E, everything else.
That's a deep dive I'd sign up for. Thanks for exploring the world of bone conduction with us. Until next time, keep those ears open and your minds even more so.